Hi, I'm Alison from Alison's Astrology, and I'm here to talk to you about the week that begins on the 9th of February to the 15th of February 2025. So we begin the week with an exciting Sunday. So it might not look that exciting when you look out the window, but trust me, there's stuff happening. Firstly, Mars completes the trine to Saturn across Cancer and Pisces. That's Mars in Cancer and Saturn in Pisces. So this is an emotional energy, yeah, a feeling energy. Um, and it's to do with belonging and to do with family and tribe, and also to do with Saturn in Pisces with kind of spirituality, but also structuring your dreams and putting boundaries around things to make them real. So this Mars-Saturn cycle began on the 10th of April 2024, and it was at 14 degrees Pisces. So if you have planets or angles around 14 degrees Pisces, then this ongoing cycle might be important for you. Especially that's any of the mutable signs as well. So that's Gemini, Virgo, and Sagittarius and Pisces. So have a think back. If something began in your life then this could be another chapter in the story. It's a helpful aspect, but Mars is now currently retrograde. So while there could be positive positive developments, then it's not really quite yet the time to take that big leap forward. It's not absolutely consolidating just yet. And this will probably happen around the 5th of April this year when that final nice waxing trine aspect happens. Yeah, and at that point, both Mars and Saturn will actually be going forward. Neither of them be retrograde, so that'd be great. I'll share the screen for you and just show you how that's happening. There we are. So here's Mars at 18 degrees, Saturn at 18 degrees as well. So yeah, if you get anything there at 18 degrees across those water signs, that could be nice for you as well. And then the other thing that's happening on Sunday is this lovely Mercury Sun conjunction, which is effectively a cazimi. We call it cazimi, although an astronomy buff recently told me it's not technically a cazimi, but anyway, that's the astrological term we like to use. And what it is a really tight conjunction. So it's Mercury, the planet of communication, right in the heart of the Sun in Aquarius, at 21 degrees of Aquarius. So it's the coming together of that messenger planet with our solar energy, and it's often a real light bulb moment. You know, it's a breakthrough with something you've been working on. And this could be especially true because it's in that cerebral thinking sign of Aquarius. And the sun, of course, being our core energy, what makes us alive and sort of vibrant, when this unites with our understanding, we're kind of really empowered by that. It's a bit like we're plugged in just for a very short period of time, you know. So that happens around lunchtime on Sunday, so make the most of that. Aquarius remembers about friends, freedom, ideals, and futuristic science too. And Mercury can rule business as well, so it could speak to a breakthrough in something you're planning in the business world, even, or something you're organizing in the community or with a group. However, the powerful conjunction of these two is actually challenged by Uranus over here in Taurus. Now, that's a couple of degrees away, but that's definitely a challenge. And Uranus, of course, is the co-ruler, the modern ruler of Aquarius, so that makes it especially significant. So you might then expect, as well as this kind of powerful understanding, you might expect curveballs coming in from, you know, left of field, unexpected things happening. Yeah, and it might even change how you think and how you kind of feel about something actually. So Uranus in Taurus has been busily changing our security around land and food during the sort of probably about 5 years now that it's been in the sign. And it's also changed how we think about science as well, I think. You know, lots of developments in that respect. It's to do with our bodies too, the planet we live on, the material world generally. All these things are being shaken up a little bit, or a lot in some cases. and it's to do with our own sense of security. So all those things might come into play when we look at this Mercury and Sun conjunction, how we feel about where we are in the world, in fact, where we are in our bodies, how our bodies are behaving, how the planet in general is around us. So not entirely straightforward, and there might be stuff to work through. But basically, those square aspects, those nice red lines, they're about trying to make something manifest, to make it real. So Wednesday, then we have the full moon in Leo. So we've got another, if you like, another kind of manifestation of the same kinds of energy. And before we go into that, just a quick word. If you are enjoying the videos, then it would be absolutely great if you could hit the like and subscribe buttons, and just tell the YouTube bots that you're appreciating the content. That would be lovely. Thank you. So the Wednesday full moons, of course, are the culmination of the lunar cycle, the fulfillment of a particular potential, the potential that was inherent in that new moon. And when you see clearly then how your efforts have played out in a given area of life, and then perhaps you have to start letting go in order to move on and in order to kind of draw the cycle in again. So see how that plays out in your life. Leo is very focused on me, how I express myself, how I shine. It's about how I can be authentic. While the Sun in Aquarius wants to know what you're bringing to the group. What are you bringing to society? What are you contributing? And with oppositions, you often get sort of shadows, psychological projections, where you project all the things that you don't like onto that other person, or it can be a group as well, but just something else, someone else, so that you don't have to kind of accept that it's part of you too. We all do that. And these are the things, of course, that we try and suppress in ourselves. And a full moon in Leo is asking us to be honest in our self-expression and to try and allow the things that we dislike about ourselves to become more conscious. So that's really important. And then we can actually authentically bring this to the group. And again, we have the square to Uranus in Taurus. So we've got this fixed T-square across 23 degrees of Leo, Aquarius, and Taurus. And the missing side, of course, is Scorpio. So if you've got anything at 24 degrees there, this will be important for you too. But if you have anything around 23 degrees of those signs, then pay attention, because this is important for you. And there might then potentially be changes in how we identify ourselves within society and our community around this new moon. There could be sudden surprises coming in. There could be good surprises too. I mean, don't expect that, it's all going to be bad and shake-ups can have really great consequences. Just be open to change. This is the challenge. And it is a challenge because these are fixed signs. So the way to proceed and get change with fixed signs is normally much more about just kind of making a quiet suggestion and then, letting that kind of mellow a little bit. They're not like mutable signs where you can just go straight in and say, no, we need to go and do this. And the mutable signs say, oh yeah, okay, so we do. So yeah, tread slowly and carefully with the fixed signs. And again, with Taurus, there could be themes of land security or finances, of course. And on a personal level, our bodies, how we impacted physically by what's going on with science, how we impacted in our own personal space by, by things going on in the community. So hang on, sorry. So yeah, what emotions is this full moon actually bringing into our consciousness? That's important. So what is becoming conscious? Because the full moon is a point of full consciousness, yeah? It's illuminated, it's bright. Both sun and moon are bright at that time of the full moon, opposing each other in the sky. What is coming into consciousness? And what kind of curveballs are you being thrown? And Mercury is involved too, by the way. That's not far off that full moon, so can be something to do with communication too. And then on Friday, Mercury shifts from Aquarius, that uber scientific sign, uber detached, into Pisces, which just kind of wants to fuse with everything. And it's always interesting when Mercury is in Pisces, this watery emotional sign. And Mercury in this sign understands through feeling and intuition rather than logical reasoning. It's got none of that thinking process of the air signs. So Mercury now is expressing itself. Hang on, let's move on through poetry and poetry probably and dance, that kind of thing. So here we are, there's Mercury. That's the full moon that I was just talking about. And now we're moving on to Mercury in Pisces. There we go. I actually really like Mercury in Pisces, but it tunes into what's underneath. It tunes into what's hidden rather than what's obvious on the surface, okay? It picks up all the little undercurrents and kind of brings them into an understanding. And remember, Mercury is the god that walks all the worlds. And in Pisces, it's fluid and it's just impressionable. And it treats the kind of material world as if it was just another realm to explore. It's not really the whole thing. So all this is to be understood, really. And oddly enough, Mercury in Pisces, when people have Mercury in Pisces in their natal charts, they're often really good at programming, actually. As if that kind of world of the web and it's just another esoteric kind of space to explore. And it's often difficult, mind you, and this is to be, pay attention to this. It's often difficult to get to the idea of the truth with this signature. Everything tends to be relative. And importantly, worldly information can get forgotten, you know, things like, oh, by the way, my brother's coming to tea today. Well, the Mercury in Pisces person is totally likely to forget to tell you that because it just wasn't really on the wavelength at that time. So, you know, if you're the person that's supposed to be cooking that tea or something, then that's pretty frustrating. But it's not intentional. It's just literally that it slips out of the web and floats off into the ether. So until the 3rd of March, when Hermes Mercury glides into Aries, just be aware that clarity and truth in any material form, in any relation to the real world, and this means in the news as well, of course, might be difficult to come by. But instead, just enjoy exploring all the other worlds with Hermes and perhaps expressing yourself through dance. So that concludes this week. And next week, join me when the sun enters Pisces and we start Pisces season. So that's always a lovely moment for me. And if you're interested in the big transits of 2025, Terry and I are recording a series of videos to help you navigate this important year. And you'll definitely want to check them out. There's already links to Neptune in Aries and the nodal shift into Pisces and Virgo down below. So thanks, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye-bye.